York to the world. Subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
Erica Ford.
Peace, family.
Peace. Thank you for putting this together again.
We back like we never left.
Life Camp INC, Life Camp Inc. on Instagram. Y'all know Eric Ford. If you are doing this great work around the city, violence prevention that you've been doing, most of your life.
Yeah. 35 years.
Yeah, and you these Peacemobiles that are all throughout the city, you've been able to give us some space so we could go out and connect with people, and we appreciate you for that.
That's what it's about. It's about mobilizing peace throughout the streets and helping lift a voice and helping connect people like you guys to our community so that people can get access to things they don't normally get access to.
Now, I know we aren't as, this isn't as lavish as, say, the lawn at the White House, you know what I'm saying? And we're not as well dressed as, when you hang out with, President Biden and they have to bend the knee to you because of all of the great work and they need to come to you to get, your consultation on getting guns off the streets. But the last several
family affair right here. It's a family affair.
But the last several years have been very much that, right?
Yeah.
Where you have all of the work that you've done over the decades now. Policymakers want to talk to you about how to fix the problems of guns in the streets and violence in our communities in general, right?
Yes. Because of the success of our work here in New York City and across the state, we have been invited to the White House. We've helped in developing language and policy, and most importantly, to get funds down to groups across the nation with the Black and Brown Peace Coalition that I'm part of.
Right. And that's a nationwide thing.
That's a nationwide thing. And we're getting ready to open up a training institute from that work, and we're going to be training both police and community violence intervention workers.
So this administration, compared to other administrations that you have tried to talk to and get to understand, would you say this is like an A+ situation, or it needs work, they're listening? Give us some.
Ambassador Rice was definitely a tremendous champion, and Senator Schumer was a tremendous champion, Holford, and so then we had champions who really took it across the finish line with Biden, and we've made history. These things have never been done before.
Right.
The amount of investment and support that we're getting across the nation.
Go ahead, Rosenberg.
I was going to say, Erica, there's been so much talk, of course, during the midterms. The Republican angle, of course, is crime in cities.
Right.
And I'm just curious, and I'm not trying to mock that idea, though it does seem like there's a political purpose when that happens. Do you sense that things are up and violence is worse in the city, or in your world, or is this sort of the same as it always is, sadly?
So it depends on what you're comparing it to, right? We made New York the safest big city in 2017. We got it down under 300. So if you're comparing it to that, yeah, it's up, right? But and historic numbers, no, it's not at that.
This isn't 80s. This isn't 2,000 deaths in a year.
And
all that.
What is happening, when you look at the random crimes that are happening, it is mostly mentally, emotionally disturbed folks who are lashing out just unconsciously about what they're even doing. So this is a real medical issue that is happening across New York City in particular, but in a lot of cities
LA,
as well.
San Francisco, Philly. Yeah.
Right,
It's because
right.
after COVID, they got displaced.
Yep.
And people got worse because they weren't getting doctor's appointment. They weren't getting help, and people really are traumatized after COVID. And so now the help and the resources have not gotten back to people to help them, heal and transform and stuff like that.
So the answer is, yes, things are worse in some ways,
Right.
but it's not the same ways
Correct.
as it's been before.
Correct. And we're not going to be able to arrest our way out of this.
That's right.
We're not going to be able to criminalize our way out of this. We have to put resources in the work that we're doing across the nation, real-time resources.
So you're talking about work, not being lazy and just throwing people away. You can't just throw humans away.
And making good speeches.
Right.
That part.
Yeah, good speeches don't get the work done.
Nah, cypher guy.
Also today, speaking of jailing your way out of dealing with mental health issues, there's a big movement down. The federal government is looking into Rikers today, and there's a big movement down in Manhattan, because things have gotten worse at Rikers. Yeah. And the closure of Rikers is still pending, and what to do with that institution and the individuals that work there and the processes that have made things worse. So we still have work to do in New York City, just even around that.
Without a doubt. We met with the police. We met with the commissioner of the Department of Corrections. He came to our office a couple of weeks ago, And we had a great conversation with him and ideas about how we can, at least while things are still open, because they're closing Rikers, but they're building other jails.
That's right.
Closer to the communities. And so how do we humanize that process, right? How do we really help people when they get inside there, transform, heal, and so on and so forth? And so, he has a good heart, good intentions, and if he's allowed to really do, because a lot of times people get put in positions, but they're not allowed to do the jobs that they want to do.
Right.
That part. So we'll see what happens today, and hopefully we can do some great stuff. But those brothers and sisters in Rikers need help right now.
Yo, shout out to people who make this Peacemobile thing happen, so we can make sure everybody gets some love today.
Okay.
What names? What names?
Well, we got the bishop behind us who drives the
Bishop.
Peacemobile.
That's right. Always. Always.
The bishop. We got our chief wellness officer, Kepra Kears, who keeps us healing, and Tracy Queen, who is the director of wellness. We got C3 that does the paint on beats with Robbie Nova. We got Jada, who holds us down, and everybody at Life Camp. We got AU, who does the boxing over there with Nacy. And we're going to be putting more Peacemobiles. We got one coming in Yonkers.
Nice.
We're going to have one coming in
So
Buffalo.
the funding for these
Buffalo,
mobile facilities has not stopped. We're still able to get these to communities so that people can deal with violence prevention and getting out their emotions and feelings and talking. Because on the Peacemobile, you guys are talking about meditation.
Yes.
You're talking about, physical activity,
Yes.
creative outlets,
Yes.
food.
Yes.
That's all a part of the Peacemobile.
Yes. Technology.
Right.
All of that. Yes.
Erica Ford, ladies and gentlemen, Life Camp. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Erica.
you.
Always.
The
Yeah, man.
marathon continues, right?
That's right.
That's